is a bit of a mucky business, but weirdly, our Sullage hose is my favourite of the flat out range. Before I get to that, I'm just going to do a bit of a comparison with a standard Sullage hose. Sullage hoses are big and bulky, and you have to do this drainage dance thing just to get the water out before you pack up. And then you've got to try and force it into a bag and not get yourself dirty in the process. They're also ribbed, which means they're going to collect the food scraps from the sink. Ew. And sometimes if you have one that isn't ribbed on the inside, it's really heavy. A lot of Sullage hoses are brittle, snap in the frost, or just break at the caravan park, and you have to throw it away and get a new one. They're greedy on space and highly awkward to drain and pack up. This is flat out Sullage hose. First up, look how tiny it is. So cute. It's smooth, so no food catching, and it's really easy to work with because it's so flexible. It's virtually indestructible, and it doesn't even weigh very much. This version is just under 2 kilos, and our biggest one's just over 3. Set up and pack up work the same as it does for our hoses and extension leads. Simply walk towards the drain and all the water naturally comes out. You might be concerned that a flat hose that's only gravity fed won't flow very well, but you'll be astounded. As long as the water going in is higher than where the water has to go out, it'll find its way through. The only thing that you do have to make sure of is that there are no forced kinks in the run. So when you're getting set up with our hoses, make sure you get yourself an adapter so that if your caravan outlet was horizontal, that you get an elbow piece so that you have a downward outlet. Because if you slide our hose onto that, the water will flow through. Whereas if you put it on a horizontal bit, it's going to create a backup point. The other thing to consider is the straighter the run, the better the flow, which is why our hoses come in 2 lengths. This model here has 2 3-metre lengths, and this one has a 3-metre and a 6-metre length. A lot of the time, you only need to run water straight off the back of your van to just the drain point right behind you. Just use that shorter length. You don't have to worry about coiling extra hose, and the rest of it gets to stay clean. When you store it inside the reel, just get one piece and stick it inside the other and keep winding. But when you need the full length of the hose that you've purchased, grab the hose joiner that we gave you and stick it in the middle of the 2 hoses, just slide it together, and that'll allow it to flow through. So the versatility is great. The user friendliness rocks. The space save is unparalleled. But wait, there's still more. The reason this is my favourite is because what happens when there's no air? You can't breathe. And so if we squeeze the air out as well as the water when we pack it away, you're suffocating any bugs that might have remained in the hose, and they won't reproduce. So since bacteria need to breathe in order to survive, the flat out Sullage hose is not only the smallest, but also the most hygienic you can get.